Howdy folks, how's it diddling? In this video we're going to slightly geek out on engines. More to the point, my three projects that I've got here, they all happen to have 1.8 16 valve engines. So we're going to go through the engine codes, the brake horsepower, the foot-pounds of torque that they make, and Newton meters, and also the 0 to 60 times. Yeah, let's geek out. Should be a bit of fun. Come and join me. How much rust? All of it. Right, so first, got the lovely MG, the very crusty Clio, and the Mercedes. So, let's start with the Merc, with this fine engine. So, this is a 1.8 16 valve engine. Now, it's the lowest spec, that the smallest engine that you could buy in a Mercedes C-Class. Now, horsepower, you're looking at 122 horsepower. That's a lot, not. And it makes round about 170, let's have a look at my data on my hand, scribbled stuff down. So it's 122 horsepower, 170 Newton meters of torque. That's about 125 foot-pounds. So, not the most fastest engine. It is a decent engine, must get that. 0 to 60, it reckons it's 11.3 seconds, so it's a bit slow. Yeah, like I say, not a bad engine. Because it's a Mercedes engine, it will go forever, and they're pretty bulletproof. Apart from this one is slightly broken. It's got an issue with its cam position sensor, so it takes quite a while for it to crank up and actually fire. Last time I started this was nearly 3 years ago, so not going to do startup now, but I will at some point a will it start video, because that should be interesting on this. So yeah. Oh, just to mention, so the engine code for the Mercedes for this one is M111. So that's the engine code for this particular engine. Now, if you had an M113 engine, that means you had a V8. But no V8s here. But yeah, fantastic. Not a bad engine. Let's move to the mighty Clio. Right, the mighty Clio. Now, these have, again, a 1.8 16 valve engine. Now, this engine is very similar to what's in the Renault Clio Williams, except they're a 2 litre. This is a short stroke engine, they're a long stroke. Yes, comparisons. But this one is a F7P engine, that's the engine code for it. Makes 135 horsepower with 153 Newton meters or 117 foot-pounds of torque. So it doesn't sound like a lot, but in a car that weighs about as much as a cigarette packet, it does chooch down the road very quickly. Can definitely keep up with quite modern stuff. I know that these can give the Clio 172 and even the 182 a bit of a run for their money. 0 to 60 on this, the Clios, you're looking at 7.7 seconds. So again, not bad. Not the fastest, but not bad. Now, unfortunately, I did do a will it start video on this, and it started. But ever since then, it doesn't start anymore. Cranks over, and I do believe that possibly either the relay for the fuel pump, which is in here, has decided to pack up, or the fuel pump has just been French and just gone, I surrender. Sorry, French people, I didn't mean to offend you like that, but yeah, it's given up the ghost. So, yeah, I need to try and fix this. Yay. Right, next. The mighty MG ZR. The mighty K-Series engines, that's what this is. It is a 1.8 16 valve K-Series engine with the VVC, variable valve control. A bit like VTEC, really. Great engines, notorious for, unfortunately, head gaskets. You know, you get everyone, oh, where's the head gasket gone on at you? Yeah, that's down to a manufacturing fault really with the head gaskets. But let's delve into the good points of this engine, because there are good points about this engine. So here it is in all its front wheel drive glory. So this again is a 1.8 16 valve, just like the Clio, just like the Mercedes, but this has the most horsepower out of all of them. Now, even though it's called the 160, it technically doesn't have 160 horsepower. If you look at forums and various, it can range between, people say between 157 and 159. So let's chop it in the middle and say 158 horsepower. It's close enough to 160. So the other specs on this engine are, it's got 100. If it's got, we're going by the figures that it's got 158 horsepower, you're looking at 174 Newton meters, which is not that far off, actually, the Mercedes. The Mercedes has got 170. So, yeah, 122 horsepower, 158, 170 Newton meters, 174. What's that in foot-pounds? Looking at 125.38 Newton meters, which is just a little bit more than the Merc. Not by much, though. So, yeah, quite interesting. 0 to 60 time on this vehicle, well, it is a lot quicker than the Merc and the Clio. Book time is 7.4 seconds, so it will chooch down the road quite quickly. Now, as you can see, this one's got the standard rocker cover gasket oil leak, which will eventually get fixed. And, yeah, plus other things as well. So there we go. Right, so I hope you like that little video about geeking out and the specs of all three of these vehicles. It's interesting to show that the horsepower and brake horsepower figures, the torque and Newton meters, and also the 0 to 60 times. The fact that the oldest car here, the 95 Clio, is in actual fact the second fastest vehicle out of this lot. The second oldest, which is the Mercedes, a 97, turns out that that is the slowest, and the newest car, the mighty MG, is the fastest. So, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, folks. And till the next video, have a good one, and tidy bar.